Attention realtors, are you guys selling homes year after year, month after month, day after day, and making that commission? I'm glad you are, but are you doing the same thing and getting the same rewards? What if there was an option to give you more for doing the same thing you're doing? We're going to dive in today and answer that question. Let's go. Awesome. Hey, gang, we are back, and always an enjoyable time to hang out with these gentlemen. We share lots of laughs. We've got a lot in common, and we want you to be happy in real estate. Nima Kazai out in Arizona and California. What's going on, brother?
Doing great. Glad to be here. Appreciate hanging out with you fine gentlemen and talking shop and bringing value.
That's it. What's up? Steve, Hugh, we were down in Florida. How's the weather down there today?
Hey Jay, did you hear him? He said fine gentleman. Huh? Did you
I
did
was,
you
yeah,
hear what he
yeah.
said?
I wore a collared
Well,
shirt today.
Yeah.
I was
Hey,
referring to myself in the third person and
mm,
Jason, I don't know how you came into this conversation, Steve.
da- dang it. I tried, didn't I?
Love
So,
you, man.
hey, we've had a chilly cold front, gentlemen. You would be interested to know that it dipped all the way to 44 degrees, sir.
Ooh.
44 in Florida. But now we're 69 and sunny, so all good.
Wow. And speaking
Yep.
of chili, do you guys like crackers or cheese on your chili?
Cheese,
I'll deflect to Nemo on that one.
cheese, cheese and sour cream, man. Cheese and sour
Oh,
cream
sour
and
cream
Mm.
guy. All right.
maybe some yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I like to add some greens to it too.
Cheese, sour cream, crackers, jalapenos.
Ooh,
Um,
nice.
That's how you do it.
Something
That's a
Put
along
it
those
spicy
all
lines.
in
meatball.
there.
Flavor of
That's
the day.
good.
That's right.
I love it. Hey,
Cornbread, some cornbread.
we put
There you
noodles in
go.
ours. Noodles.
Really?
Yeah.
That's you Indiana folk. That's
Yeah,
what you
that's
do.
Midwest. Yep.
Noodles in your chili.
Yeah. It makes it
Why
sound
do
makes
you?
it hard makes it hard for a chili hot dog, a chili dog. It makes it hard for that. But But yeah, it's good. It fills you up a little bit more.
Isn't that spaghetti?
No, different flavors. It's this, but all right, but this is going to be a whole nother topic for another day here. We're going to have Chef
Yeah.
EXP here. But I mean it's virtually the same ingredients. You're just changing out the flavoring, really.
Gotcha. Understood.
Yeah.
Yeah, we won't go down the chili rabbit hole. Let's
Yeah.
stay on track here. Stay
Thanks,
Yeah.
focused. We
Steve.
got to give these agents value and so they know what they're looking at.
At EXP, we're able to sell homes. That's the number one reason why we're in real estate. Let's make more families happy, right? So why not be and partner with a company that can give you more? And we've talked in our previous videos too about what EXP is offering. And today we wanted to talk about, when you sell a home, not only are you getting paid, but you get stock. You become an owner right off the bat. Nima, what's it mean to you, when you sell that first home year after year and you're rewarded stock?
Absolutely. It means a lot because again, traditionally in the traditional real estate world, you're only as good as your last deal. Then you got to go build that pipeline, 30, 60, 90 days, pound the phones, pound the doors, talk to people, get that next deal under contract and wait 30, 60 days to get paid. And so it's very linear and it's one-sided. But for brokerage to incentivize your production by giving you stock, it just changes the landscape. Now you have a secondary source of income, a third source of income, multiple streams of income. And it's not a penny stock. It's not some, hey, here's some penny stock. No, we're on the NASDAQ. We're fully vetted. You have requirements that in order to stay on the NASDAQ. It's no joke being on. So for lack of a better word, it's a game changer.
Mhm.
When was the last time, if you're not at EXP, maybe you're at a different brokerage. When did they give you a piece of the pie? Hey, thanks for doing 50 deals. We're going to give you ownership in the company. You might get a little plaque or a Starbucks gift card. That's it. But that's what is that worth, right? What is that worth?
Yeah. I agree too, Steve. What's your thoughts with it? And I mean, have you had any stories that the stocks really made an impact on you and your family's life?
I mean, I totally concur, right, with Nima coming from being an independent broker owner for so many years, and albeit just being a broker, but just an agent, right? Most agents, well, in the last 2 years, we've seen evidence of it, right? So they've top graded their lives based on COVID income. So the more money they made, the nicer things they bought, the nicer homes, the nicer cars, and then they didn't develop the right habits. They rode the market up and they're riding it down. And the reason I bring up that story is they're spending a lot of this commission income and not putting it away. So I did that as a broker owner. And now, after 4.5 years with the company, legitimately, I have a six-figure stock account that if I was still an independent broker owner, I wouldn't have had that responsibility. You know what I mean? It's like I opted in, I set it and forget it. Isn't there an infomercial back in the 90s, like you just set it and forget it? So I just set it and I forget it and I don't miss it, right? And the next thing you know is based on production and based on sales and the fact that we're gifted stock. I know you're going to bring up the particulars on that. But that's what I'm looking at. And I'm not, in all honesty, I'll probably just gift it to my kids, right? But 10 years from now, by doing everything that I would be doing in a daily basis, which is dealing with buyers and sellers, my territory, my terrain is going to look completely different than what it would be without the ownership and without the stock equity. I mean, I probably won't even do anything with it, Jay, but I'll be able to give it to my kids. I know that. So
What a great option for yourself, right? To either give it to your kids, or if it's a rainy day, or poop hits the fan, whatever. What a comfort blanket, right? Just because you were doing your job, just like you said. And I love that, and I appreciate you sharing that and just being vulnerable with how it's worked for you too. It's great. So and thanks for leading it in too, Steve. So when you're with EXP and you sell your first home every year after year, that's what I'm trying to say. $200 worth of EXPI stock just for doing your job. Cool. Here you go. They're just going to give it to you. Isn't that nice? And then when you continue to produce and do more, when you cap, you get $400 of EXPI stock just when you cap. And it depends on what area, to what your average is. Here in Indiana, agents usually average about 250 to 300 per closed transaction. That's thousands of dollars I'm referring to. And so it takes about 10 deals. So, maybe in Orlando, California, Arizona, it may take you 5. Do you guys know what it takes to cap in your areas for an agent?
I'd say in the LA,
yes. Go ahead. Sorry, Neiman. Go
I'd say in
ahead.
the LA area, LA probably 2 to 3 deals. Scottsdale, same 4 or 5 deals.
Okay.
Again, depending on the market.
Yep.
We're
And
about
Steve?
9. We're about 9. Yeah.
Cool. So right there, so if you're watching this and you're in these areas, Arizona, Scottsdale, the LA area, and you're doing 2, 3, 4 deals plus, why not take advantage of some options? What if you're down in Florida and you're selling 9 plus deals, or up in Indiana in the Midwest doing 9 or 10? It really factors in on what your average closed dollar is, and then you're reaping these benefits. So so they're going to give you $600 just for doing your job. $600 in EXPI stock. So, and what's our stock sitting at? Do you guys know?
We're hovering around 12.
Well,
I think we're
right.
around 12.
It's a
Obviously,
stock market, you guys. It fluctuates,
down.
right? It goes up, it goes down. You got to play it. You got to figure out if you need to sell it or you do like Steve and hold it, which is cool. I'm trying to hold it too. Here's the other thing. They're going to throw in another $400 of EXPI stock when you bring an agent on and you help them close a deal, their first one. So, Nima, I know you've got friends in other brokerages too. What do they get when they bring an agent on? And what does that brokerage do for them?
A lot of times nothing. Hey, thanks for bringing in Steve and Billy, and hey, they're doing great. We really appreciate it. A lot of times they don't get that, or they might have, some companies might have a profit share where if the brokerage or the region or the area has been profitable, then they'll share. But I always say, hey, no profits, no sharing, right? There's no profits, there's no sharing, right? So, and then there's a lot of copycat models that want to replicate us, and they're honestly, they don't have the infrastructure and the support and the ability to do what we're doing. So essentially, nothing. You're not getting anything substantial when you help the brokerage grow, unless you're at EXP, in my opinion, in my professional opinion.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Very good.
Mm-hmm.
Steve, you relate?
I can. I mean, the thing that I wanted to point out is it's hard for an agent, right? When we're inside it and we're experiencing it, it's great. When you're on the outside, agents hear all about these things, these great things. Oh, they're just trying to sell me on EXP. They just want me to join to benefit them. No. Do yourselves a favor. I'm telling you, I was an independent broker for 16 years. You need to look at this model because the stock program will make a difference. In and of itself, it's still selling real estate. I get it. But 5, 10, 15 years of your life at a company that doesn't offer the ownership opportunities, it's going to look a hell of a lot different, my friend. So, and I say that humbly, and I say that with all sincerity. And I'm trying to, I don't know, Jason. I speak to so many agents, and it's either ego or it's just the fact that, and I get it, right? People are comfortable, they're happy, people join people, people leave people. But
Sure.
they don't join a system or a model or a company. But if they would just take a moment to look at this and understand how it can alter the trajectory of their real estate business in 5 to 10 years. I went on a different tangent. I had that note down. So I'm scatterbrained. I can't even get my Zoom to work. So I just wanted to get that out there. So it's hard for us inside. When they're on the outside, they're like, they're just trying to da-da-da. No, you need to look at it because it'll make a difference to the way you end your real estate career, right? So
Totally.
you'll retire, you won't expire.
Absolutely. Well, and I like where you come from because, yeah, you were an independent owner and understanding that and saying, man, I've been able to build myself up and save that money for the family. Who else is doing that as an independent? Nobody. And that's where you want to look at that whole perspective. What we just described, EXP is willing to give you $1,000 for doing your job. And then what if that grows? So if we're looking, I wanted to do some math. I was trying to do that. I'm going to see how my
Can I say one
calculations go.
thing real quick too?
Please, I'm going to do math while you do that.
Yeah. So listen, don't get me wrong. No takeaway, right? There are some great independent broker owners out there that are uber successful, and kudos to them. But it's something that you just said. If you take most independent broker owners and you and give them a start date, and then 4 years later look at their bank account, very, very, very few are going to have 6 figures in that bank account as saved income after a 4-year period. That's just my thoughts,
Yep.
So yeah, that's what gets
I love
me
it.
excited.
Nima?
Yeah, and we haven't even talked about the Icon Award and what happens there. I know we'll get there, but that's exciting. I mean, honestly, I've said this over and over again. We're living in an economy where inflation, cutbacks, if prices aren't going up, quantity's getting smaller. Things are being taken away. And what's EXP doing? EXP is giving back more, making it easier for you to earn stock, to have ownership again in a publicly traded brokerage that's on the NASDAQ. This is serious stuff. People don't understand how hard it is to get on the NASDAQ and stay on the NASDAQ. You can lose your place on the NASDAQ. So for us to be that successful, and again, you Icon just about a month ago, Steve, to have that 6-figure stock accumulation throughout the years and get your cap back in the form of $16,000 in stock, it's mind-boggling. And I talk to people. I say, hey, are you getting ownership at your brokerage? Are they sharing the revenues? No. Well, hey, let's do the math. How long have you been at your brokerage? Oh, 5 years. How many deals have you done? About 40 deals a year. Okay. Hey, you would have been an icon 5 straight years. What would 80,000 extra dollars in stock over those past 5 years mean to you and your family? What could you have done? What could you have paid for? What trips could you have done? What you could have bought a second home, or how much longer do you want to be at your brokerage? Oh, 10 years. Well, hey, you keep up that production. That's $160,000 in stock that you wouldn't be receiving. Why would you pass up on that opportunity? What is your compelling reason to pass up on that?
So
Oh,
true.
it's the stock market or this. Well, hey, I can guarantee you, you keep doing what you're doing, you'll get zero back from your brokerage. You'll get a nice little acrylic plaque that says you're the number one broker in the office, and that's great. That's a testimony of your accomplishments. But outside of that, it's just a paperweight. We're in the business to make money. Let's not lie about it. If we weren't, hey, Steve, why don't you reduce your commission? Right? Right. We're in the business to make money. That no,
He's got too many kids to reduce commission.
Right, exactly. And we want to help.
I'll give up one of my kids before I reduce commission. No.
We want to help buyers and sellers, but at the end of the day, we want to support our families. So why are we being closed-minded about an opportunity to help be more profitable for our families?
Yeah.
Well, and that's where go ahead.
No, go ahead, Jay. Go ahead.
I mean, that's where people need to wrap their head around it. I was doing some numbers real fast. We talked about the $1,000 that EXP will give you when you close your first deal, when you cap, and when you bring an agent on. If you took that $1,000, Steve, you said roughly floating around $12 a share right now. So I'm using $12. That'll give you 83 shares. All right, just for doing your job, and boom, there it is. If that stock price goes up to $20 a share, you'll be at over $1,600. So you just earned $600 as the stock has worked itself. And with our leadership, that's going to be easy because we've got Glenn Sanford heading our international side. That's going to help us grow. And that's where it's going to take off. So if you're a long-term investor in stocks, look at that picture. Where does this leadership take us? To the moon is where it's taken us. Nima, you mentioned that Icon Award where you could win $16,000 back in the form of stock. At $12 a share, that's over $1,300 shares. If that rose to $20 a share, which it will soon, that's $26,000 that it is now. You have just made 10 grand from the company because we're growing, because we're selling more homes, and we're being the biggest independent brokerage in the world today because we're doing our jobs. The company is giving us this. They're going to give you an extra 10 grand that you earn. And Nima, you were using that example. If you did that year after year after year, an extra 10 grand, an extra 10. So now not only are you getting your 16K back, you're getting an additional 10 because the stock went up. Like, come on.
All by servicing your clients, your buyers, your sellers. All by doing your job. And I want a disclaimer, right? This is not financial advice. Go talk to a consultant, a stock person, right? This is not financial advice. We're just explaining what we know, what we know to be true for us, what we've seen. Now, you do talk to your CPA or whatever you needed to, but this, yeah. I mean, this
CPA is a company's been the CYA.
Yeah, exactly. This is the CYA disclaimer. Yes,
that's California.
At least one of us is smart, Jason. Me and you didn't think of that, but yes, thank you. Well,
he's in California. That's why they need disclaimers for everything. If you go on a first date, you need a disclaimer. So I mean,
right? Lawsuit after lawsuit after lawsuit. So.
Fellas, I know we're short on time. We're always having great times together too, and just really implementing it. We haven't talked about the agent equity program. So I know you guys were talking about there's other brokerages that may charge a 5%, 6%, 8% franchise fee, right? And no matter how big of a earner you are, you sell 100 homes, you always pay that franchise fee, right? So with EXP, we're allowed awesomeness, and that money comes to us. Steve, what do you know about the agent equity program, to put you on the spot, man?
All right, no, all good. We're talking about buying it at a 5% discount on every commission check, right? Well, that's what's driven the stock account. So on every sale, you're basically earning 5%. Stock fluctuates up and down. We're thinking long term. It's back to that old adage, right? You ask a majority of people, you want 100 grand now, or you want $1 million or $1 million in 5 years. Unfortunately, most people are going to opt for the 100 grand now, you know? So it's just thinking that long term, and it's everything that we're saying, right? It's doing what we do every day, servicing clients to the highest level, and as a byproduct of doing that, we get additional benefits that we wouldn't get anywhere else. So every time I have a closing, you opt in, you can buy. If you opt into the program, you can opt out anytime you want. But every time you have a closing, they'll take 5% of your commission check, and you buy the stock at a 5% discount off that strike price of whatever it's trading at the time when it takes place. So it's been a no-brainer for me, and I don't even miss it. So
I love it, man. And Nima, I'm going to come to you next to close us out, brother, because we're going to wrap this one up for today. Steve, as you were talking about that, the cool thing is it's up to 5%. If you want, you could do 1%. You don't have to. You don't have to be part of the agent equity program. But if you're producing, it's very wise. Just like Steve said, hey, I'm not missing it. I don't miss it in my paychecks either. Why? Because we're producing, we're helping our teams grow. We want people to produce. So let's help them get to that. Don't come from scarcity, come from abundance. And then that stock will continue to grow. And then your bank account grows and you kick some butt. So, man, this has been awesome, guys. Nima, close us out, brother.
Hey, it's always a pleasure, Steve, Jason. We come in, we want to add value. We're excited about what we do. We're excited about our profession, our brokerage. We're excited about the future. We have amazing leadership. Glenn Sanford, Leo Perea. These are guys that, Jason, you and I personally talked to them. We interviewed them. We chatted with them. These are down-to-earth people that are visionaries, that are taking our brokerage to higher routes, and it's an exciting time to be at EXP. My suggestion to people, if someone has sent you this video, go back to them and say, hey, tell me more about EXP. I want to challenge you guys, the agent out there, have an open mind. Have an open mind to simply sit there and compare and contrast what you're getting at your brokerage and see if what EXP offers you would be better, if it aligns better with the direction that you're taking your business, for yourself, for your family. Come with that open mind. Put on your learning hat. Worst thing that can happen is you spent some time and you find out, hey, it's not a good fit. But what if the opposite is true and you realize, hey, this will knock the doors off of my business and change my life? Wouldn't you want that? Wouldn't you want to at least do that? Have no regrets about it.
boom.
Boom. I'm going to go eat some chili. I'm making chili.
I want to say one last thing, and but I would say, I was thinking it through, and it's just get dimensional. Be more than transactional, right? We should be relational in our business with our clients and not transactional. And then for our families and for our real estate careers personally, we need to be more than transactional in terms of income. And this company's the way to do it.
Love it.
You know?
Well said.
Appreciate it, fellas.
Thank you.